Michael and Tania live at Kiss, and we've been joined in the studio by Avicii. How's things, Tim?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wicked. You're in the UK?
Yeah, good to be here.
Yeah, well, the UK is one of the a zillion places where Wake Me Up went to number one.
Yeah, but it's one of the most important markets, though. After the US, I mean, it's the second biggest one, right? So it's such an honor to that it went so well here.
Okay.
Did you ever think the track would do so well when you were making it? Was you like, this is a certified hit? Or was you unsure?
I mean, I wasn't sure that it was going to be a hit. I always liked it, but it's so hard to see I like everything I finish, otherwise I wouldn't finish it. But, it's hard to see which ones are going to be a hit and which ones aren't. So, I mean, I tried not to have any expectations before.
Do you know what? It's okay that you can say that you liked it.
Yeah, it's okay.
Because you're not going to put something out there that you don't like.
No, exactly.
Do you know what? We literally a couple of minutes ago, we played the new single, You Make Me. Seriously, man, that's if I can say so, that's better than Wake Me Up, in my opinion. So have you got high expectations for that as well? Great.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's especially after Wake Me Up and how well that did. I mean, Wake Me Up is still going everywhere. It's still building. So it's a tough time to release like a second single too, because it's kind of competing with what's already out.
Still doing so well.
Exactly. But no, I think it's a really good one, and I think this was the perfect time to release it. Otherwise, I don't think we would have gotten it out, because we have so many other singles from the album to release.
Okay. We've got the album here, by the way. Where's the camera?
Is that your copy? I don't have my
copy. You're not getting this copy.
I'm not getting it.
I'm going to put this in my pocket so you don't steal it, okay?
What can we expect from the forthcoming album, True? Because You Make Me is so different in terms of its sound to Wake Me Up. Is it going to vary?
Yeah, it's very eclectic, I'd say. It's like a fusion with house, obviously, where I kind of come from and what I've been doing for these past 6 years. And then I've tried to incorporate everything from, blues or blues and jazz and funk and, disco and, even like bluegrass and folk. It's just like a big, just everything in it. But I think it does make sense at the end of the day, because I have been overseeing all of it. I'm involved with every note on every song. They're all written from scratch in the studio. So it's like a different process than what I've had before, when it's been more back and forth over emails and, having an instrumental of the track and someone writing an a cappella for that, So I think once you listen through it, it still makes sense with all the melodies and stuff.
Because there are so many different kind of styles, sort of that you've tried to incorporate. Is this because these were styles that you liked and wanted to incorporate into your songs, or was it just a challenge that you set yourself, where it's like, right, I need Nile Rodgers for this one, I need Aloe Black for this track throughout the whole album? So were you just kind of like, right, I'm going to set myself a challenge here, I'm going to try and get as many different people from as many different genres on the album as possible?
No, it's funny, with all the different people that I work with, I didn't really say, for instance, with Nile, I didn't say, let's get Nile because I want to get a funky guitar. That's not really how I was thinking. I was just thinking, let's get Nile because he has such a huge, just expertise in music in general. He's done so many different genres. So I felt like if I bring him in, we could do play around with everything. So the first thing we started playing around with was something that sounded almost like a Bob Dylan sound, really weird. It wasn't at all like a Nile Rodgers sound to it. And then we did Lay Me Down with Adam Lambert, which had way more of a kind of funky disco-ness to it. But with most of these people, I didn't really I didn't go in. Go in to try to be difficult and try okay, now I'm gonna it wasn't pretentious. It wasn't meant to be pretentious, at least. It was just genres I've loved and I've grown up loving.
Nile Rodgers is such a musical legend. Was you nervous about working with him? Was you nervous about getting it right?
I mean, I wasn't really nervous because he came, but the first time I met him, he came by my show at Radio City in New York, and he just came by to watch the show, and then he came backstage after and just said that he loved it and he had such a good time and loved the vibe in the room, and that he wanted to do something together. So that by itself took off a lot of the kind of pressure. But then at the same time, I don't think at the time I didn't know really like much about. I knew who he was with Cheek, obviously, but
Yeah.
I didn't know much past that. And then just by looking him up after and just looking at his discography, it's just, and still we work. I mean, we've done like 8 tracks together, and we, you know, he's one of the best songwriting partners I've ever worked with, and like I still get surprised of some of the stuff he's done. Like I played him. When we were in the studio a couple of weeks ago in the Hamptons, and I played him Lola's Theme by the Shapeshifters, and he's like, "Oh, that's me. I wrote this song. I'm just writing this song."
You're
What?
like,
Yeah, it's just like, and that's happened like literally like 4 times. I'm not even exaggerating. It's happened like 4 or 5 times, and it's just new stuff that he's a part of in some way, or has sampled something that he's done, and yeah, he's just like, I think he's made. His guitar has been involved in like $2 billion of music or something.
I read that earlier, and I was like, $2 billion
Yeah,
worth of music. That is crazy.
It is. I don't think there's not many people, you know, with that kind of like with that kind of history in music in general, especially not alive. You know.
Yeah. You know, when I think of musicians, I always think of them having these crazy jamming sessions backstage at a concert. I like to think of myself as a musician. Isn't that right, Michael? He's always like, Tania, don't sing.
Seriously,
no, I'm not going to, I promise. But is there any artist
I think she was just about to pitch herself. Hey, is there space for me on one record?
Is there space? No, I know there isn't. Is there any sessions that you've had that no one would know about? Like you were with this person and that person just like jamming out?
Yeah, I mean, there are obviously a bunch of sessions. I mean, for the album, we did 30, 40 tracks, and just depending on what was finished and what was cleared with all the labels, and you know, we ended up choosing these 9, but I have so many ideas and so much material from other sessions for the future. So like I don't think I'm gonna run out of music anytime soon. But like no, I did one of the tracks called Heart Up on My Sleeve, which I worked on with the Imagine Dragon guys. Like that, the first version I did was with John Legend. He sang for that, which was great, but it just ended up not being able to finish it in time and stuff. And there's a bunch of different people that I've worked with too, and that we just couldn't really, you know, get there in time to get it sorted out. There's so much politics and paperwork that's you know, behind everything.
So the album's coming out later this month. What's your favourite track on it?
My favorite track is "Lay Me Down." By far, I think. Not really by far, but it's been ever since I made it. It's been the favorite one.
Okay.
And we always ask everyone when they come in the studio, what is your guilty pleasure? Because I'm pretty sure that everyone, right, we all have a guilty pleasure. What is yours?
Well, like
it could be
like
anything. It could be like a song you listen to, a film that you love, like Mean Girls or Clueless, that no one would think you'd like. My personal favourites. Just throwing them out there.
God, what's my guilty pleasure? I think still that Stereo Love song is my guilty pleasure a little bit.
Yeah.
It's just like, I just fell in love with that before, and it's still something that I mean, me and Tiesto we used to always joke about that. That was our guilty pleasure because we really loved the song, but everyone was making fun of both of us.
I can imagine. That's a beautiful image I've got in my mind of you and Tiesto. You've been out, you've played your sets, you were having a couple of beers afterwards, and then that comes on, and you're having a sing along and everything.
Yeah, it's like, it's not that bad, really. It's okay. It's like, I love it. It's like, yeah.
Right, Avicii, good luck with the album.
Thank you.
Everyone go get it when it's out. I love Lay Me Down. It's probably one of my favourites that I've heard.
Thanks.
Thank you for joining us.
No, good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Live at Kiss, fueled by Lucozade Energy. Weekdays from 3. Kiss FM UK.